After evicting his tenant, a landlord discovered that not only did the tenant steal his appliances, but they also were selling them on social media. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it has to do with one of these really dumb tenants. Okay, so not only did this tenant steal from the landlord in terms of not paying rent and had to go through the eviction process, but guess what? After they got evicted, I guess they thought that, hey, you know what? This stuff in the house, we're gonna take it, and because we won't get caught, no one will know that we took it, and we're going to sell it on social media. What a joke. Okay, so in this situation, the tenant actually got caught and got arrested and charged for this crime. But this goes back into some of the stuff I talked about earlier, where a lot of the issues that landlords have with tenants, we're expected to resolve them in a civil matter. Okay, so if there's damages to the property, if appliances are missing, a lot of the times the police are not on our side. They don't want to help us out. But fortunately, in this case, that wasn't a problem, okay? Because this was an evicted tenant. This wasn't a tenant who had any right to be in the property, and they stole stuff on their way out. So the police actually responded in the correct manner. But my issue is that that isn't always the case. A lot of the times, especially when it comes to property damage, we're expected to go sue the tenant for damages, knowing that, hey, the tenant doesn't have a way of paying a lot of the time, and just, that's how we're supposed to get our money back. And you know what? It just isn't happening. It's not happening. So what we want to see is the police come in there, arrest these people, charge them with damage to property, charge them with theft, etc. And, at least there'll be some kind of repercussions for the tenant who screwed the landlords over. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. So here's a question for you. Have you ever had a tenant steal from you, steal appliances or, steal something from you as a landlord? I'm just curious. Usually that's going to happen on the way out. Obviously, we've all dealt with damage issues. I've dealt with damage. I don't think that the damage that I dealt with was purposeful, but I have heard of situations where landlords have had their properties destroyed by tenants who are trying to get revenge, I guess, for an eviction they didn't see as just. You don't pay your rent. You don't see that as just, that we got to get rid of you. Whatever. These people are morons, okay? Anyway, let's get into this article and see what it says. This article is coming from WKOK.com, and it says, woman evicted, caught selling apartment appliances. And you won't believe the ridiculousness of this story, because some of the stuff that this tenant stole is stuff that it's beyond just, easy to remove stuff. So let's get into the article and see what it says. And this is Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania. A woman was evicted from a rental unit in West Buffalo Township, is accused of stealing the appliances and selling them on social media. Tammy Lee Stuck, 54, hey, at 54, you should know better than this, of Mifflinburg, was charged after the landlord notified state police at Milton on April 2nd of the alleged theft. The landlord evicted Stuck on April 1st. The next day, the landlord went to the rental unit and realized several of the appliances were gone, according to Trooper Kyle Drick. Among the missing items were the refrigerator, the stove, the fan, the stove fan, the washer, dryer, and a ceiling fan. So keep in mind, right? Yeah, you can easily just throw the washer and dryer onto a cart or the refrigerator onto a two-wheel dolly, roll it out to a truck, and haul it away, but the stove fan, that's the little fan that's above the stove to suck out, the smoke or whatever from whatever you're cooking, right? That is something that is literally attached to the wall. So it had to be unbolted from the wall in order to get that thing out. They also mentioned that they stole a ceiling fan. Like, you're pulling a ceiling. Like, you have to remove the electrical wires. I mean, it is not easy to remove a ceiling fan. So it is obvious that these people were acting with malice and intent, you know, and they probably were trying to get revenge on the landlord for the eviction. On top of that, trying to, you know, steal, make a little bit of extra money. And because, you know, there's no way that this one lady was doing all this on her own, okay? For one 54-year-old lady was like, I'm hauling this refrigerator and this oven off. No, she had some kind of co-accomplices who were helping her out, be it, you know, kids or whatever, right? And regardless, you know, her name was on the lease. She was the one being evicted. She's responsible for all the property in there, and she's the one who is getting charged. So yeah, what a ridiculous story this is. So you get evicted from your place and you think, well, let me steal the ceiling fan out of the ceiling. Yeah, give me a break. And I'm glad the police that came in there. I hope that you didn't trash the place on top of that. I mean, maybe it says in the article what kind of shape this place was in. The landlord suspected Stuck took the appliances due to previous comments she made about the appliances being junk. Drick wrote in the affidavit. The landlord also heard through several individuals that Stuck possibly had sold some of the items on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace, okay? That's the new garage sale place, okay? So obviously, landlord heard some rumors that some of the stuff was being sold online, contacted the police, let them know. Now, if she was complaining that the appliances were junk, why did she want to take them with her? Was she going to sell them for scrap? Who knows, okay? Who knows? When Drick interviewed Stuck, she admitted she got rid of all the items except for the ceiling fan because they were junk, according to the affidavit. Stuck said she got rid of the stove and stove fan due to a fire that occurred. Okay, I could see that happening, but why is it that the landlord doesn't know anything about that? Okay? If there was a fire in the house, I mean, for real, and you didn't tell the landlord that, hey, there was a fire, the stove and the stove fan were badly damaged, you know, you're still responsible for it. You are responsible for that as the tenant. You know, like if I do, you know, like that would have came out of your security deposit, right? So there's no way the landlord would be able to tell if he comes into the place, the stove is missing, the stove fan is missing. There's no way that the landlord would have known, oh, well, you know, there was a fire and she had to get rid of this. No, the landlord would have thought, well, I had appliances in here when you moved in and now there's nothing here. So that's on you. You stole it, or you know, removed it without my permission or without letting me know. So, you know, that to me, that's theft. That's theft, and you know, she needs to deal with it, regardless of whether there was malintent behind that. But what about the other stuff? Huh? What about this other stuff? The refrigerator? You didn't say the fire destroyed the refrigerator. No, what a joke. I mean, come on, you're making excuses, and you know, it's just a lie. It's a lie, and you know, you see this from a lot of people who are unwilling to take responsibility once they get caught. They start making up lies and excuses because they think, oh, well, somehow maybe I can get out of trouble. No, you're in deep crap right now, okay? You're in deep crap. You're going to get charged criminally, and, you know, I would like to see the landlord paid back for the stuff that you stole. Drick told Stuck that the items came with the rental property and were not hers to get rid of. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Stuck was charged with theft by unlawful taking through the office of District Judge Jeffrey Minch. A preliminary hearing is set for May 21st at Minch's office. Yeah, and that's exactly what you deserve, honestly. Okay, so yeah, this is a interesting situation. I bring this up because I know a lot of landlords have dealt with this sort of situation before. I wonder, how would you deal with it if you came back after a tenant moved out and a lot of the stuff was missing? Would you try to pursue criminal action? Would you go, contact the tenant, see if you could get the stuff back, or, try to figure out what the situation was? Me, I'm on the side of this landlord who says, hey, you know what? It was with the property when you moved in. It was not yours to get rid of. And if the stuff, like, here's my thing with broken appliances. it is cheaper in a lot of cases to repair appliances than it is to replace them. So it isn't yours to get rid of if the stuff stops working. That's why you need to contact your landlord if the appliance isn't working. I'll send a repairman over, he'll get the thing working, and then I don't have to buy a brand new one, especially when it comes to stuff like washers and dryers, okay? They said that the washer, dryer, and the refrigerator were missing, but you don't have any excuse for that stuff. So my guess is that you just sold it online. So yeah, crazy story coming out of Pennsylvania.